Hey, everybody, welcome. Proud to welcome my longtime friend and god sister and someone who's sometimes mad at me and all that stuff, and all but love her anyway, and back and forth and back to vice versa. Welcome, Mayor Libby Schaaf. How are you doing?
It's great to see you, Zenny. It's been, more than 30 years since we first met, I think on a bar stool at the Golden Bear.
That's
And, I was thinking about you recently. We just celebrated the 30th anniversary of the Oakland firestorm. And I remember you were working for Elihu Harris during some pretty tumultuous years in Oakland, the Loma Prieta earthquake, the firestorm. And so, it's been awesome to know you all these years. Sometimes I think you're a better son to my parents than I am a daughter. And anyway, I know we both hella love Oakland. So good to be here with you.
I want to add something regarding the fire. A quick story before you go shift gears. But my plan, I don't know if you know Valerie Ostrom. They stayed on Proctor. And ran into her at the gym. She was absolutely hot. I was going to take her to Lynn and Lou's for brunch. Mm-hmm. And we had an outside table. I was like, oh, yeah, this is great. People were in front of us at Grand. You have the elbows where Grand and Elwood is, right?
Yeah.
We went out to find out what all the commotion was about. We saw the smoke. Valerie said, I got to get my dogs. So we went up there, and I wound up driving them out of a war zone. I will never forget that moment, because I remember Mr. Ostrom said, Zenny, we're never going to get out of here. I said, oh, no, Mr. Ostrom, it's no problem. We just go downhill. We'll make it out. I promise. And we did.
Well, my dad lost his house. I was in law school by then, but then I came up because, they weren't even allowed to go back for just like days and days. My sister and I went with him to what used to be his house, and like all that was there was ashes. Like there was just nothing left. It was just unbelievable. And just to think of all the sentimental things that were gone, all the photos, there was some family silver that we found like a lump of metal, and he's like, I bet this is the silver that I had wanted to give to you girls as a wedding present.
I miss your dad, I gotta say.
Yeah. So anyway.
Where are we with Howard Terminal, Libby?
Howard Terminal, it excites me. I talked about it in my comments today. It is highlighted in the State of the City film because I talk about how Oakland fights, Oakland cares, and Oakland dreams. And for me, Howard Terminal is one of my big Oakland dreams. And it's bigger than a ballpark. It is an entire waterfront neighborhood. Incredible community benefits, incredible economic engine for the city of Oakland in a way that will not interrupt or endanger in any way the economic engine of our port, our working waterfront. And so I'm excited that we have been working along. The A's have been submitting different things to work towards, all the entitlement approvals. There are about 4 major paths that are going on, and they all have to converge together because the way that approvals work in Oakland, because of the complexity and nature of this project, the city council will get everything together. It will get the development agreement. It will get the certification of the final environmental impact report. It will get all of the design standards and general plan amendments, all the planning approvals, all of that will come in a single package to the council after going to the planning commission first. So a lot of moving parts, but lots of progress, especially on, the design review and the project approvals. We are, finally getting some drafting going on the development agreement. Apparently there were 4,000 pages of comments submitted in response to the environmental impact report draft. So those are being analyzed and must be responded to as part of that process. So all of those things are going on. And then of course, the city very clearly took on the responsibility of that offsite infrastructure. And so we have put together some grant applications. We are moving forward with some some projects that already have been approved by the regional, county ACTC, where we have to just put forward the strategic plan to specifically apply for those funds. And then, of course, with all of the action in Washington, D.C. around infrastructure funding, we are preparing a really great lobbying effort to go after those federal infrastructure dollars to also complement this project.
Where are we with the sources and uses? Because Oakland Athletics President Dave Cavana, I have talked a number of times about that. And what irks me about your consultant public financial management is, unlike Hobbs and On in Las Vegas, a number of other people I've worked with, even as in this guys, they haven't produced a sources and uses, and they haven't calculated an upfront bond issue calculation based on a debt coverage ratio of 2. You got $1.6 billion out of that tax increment revenue from that, assuming a $2 billion assessed value base year. Okay, so what's going on? It's taken them so long and we still haven't gotten anything.
So Zenny, this project is at a point yet where there's no final sources and use document, but I have seen many draft ones. They are draft. They are not appropriate for publication because they are not final. And the A's have seen draft sources and use budgets as well. They've been screen shared with them, but they've never been physically given one.
Libby, I'm going to say something as a friend. You share those with me. Okay, because the people that are sharing,
then it would become a public document.
No,
we can't do that.
Confidential. Your people do not have my intellectual horsepower. You need to bring that to me for final say, because you're getting screwed by these people. Just saying. Okay.
Well, when the time is appropriate, I look forward to hearing all of your wisdom. I know you have tremendous experience in this issue. You are an expert, and I also know you love Oakland, and you've got our back.
Yeah, and I help the people in Las Vegas. They asked me, you guys never asked. Just saying. That was the Raiders issue. Okay? So, let's come together on this stuff, but me aside, all right? Back to the matter at hand. Why is it taking so long to get the financial part together and the numbers? And also, why not move the county of Alameda out of the way? You don't need the county if you're not going to use their tax increment. You don't need
the county because we are using tax increment. We absolutely need the county. This project does not work without the county.
Miss Mayor, it only takes 15%. They're 15% of it. That's it. You can make that up by adding 15% to the base year assessed value mathematically. If your consultant telling you otherwise, I will get in the room and I will smash them in a...
Let me be clear about where my values are. Gotcha. We are never again putting the city of Oakland's general fund at risk.
Not the general fund.
Zenny, you asked me where I am on this. Let me speak. Yeah, and don't try and talk over me with all of your, I know you know your stuff, but I'm just telling you where we are and how we think about this. By using the county's participation, because remember, you had redevelopment. We don't have that anymore. California eliminated redevelopment. And so its stepsister, so to speak, is the Enhanced Infrastructure Financing District. We cannot unilaterally impose that on all the taxing entities. We have to get them to vote to contribute their tax increment into the deal. And that's what we're asking Alameda County to do. And the reason why we need the tax increment financing district to be only over the project area and not what the A's proposed. They wanted a separate entity, a separate area that was outside of the project area.
Yeah, you don't need
the way that we backstop or guarantee that we can service the bonds without ever using revenues that are not directly generated by the project itself is by also creating a community financing district on the project area. And that is an assessment that the A's themselves are liable for. So at any time the project revenues are not equaling the debt service, then that kicks in. They are the guarantor, not the city coffers, not the county coffers. And that is why our taxpayers need to know that we learn mistakes from the past. We are not repeating that terrible Raiders deal that we are still paying for while the Raiders are playing their games in Las Vegas.
But as the person who told Dave Cavalla about EIDLs to begin with, section SB 628B, okay, I'm the person who knows the legislation. A. B, you can do the bond issue without a backstop to the general fund. If they're telling you it's a backstop, they're wrong. You can also use a private activity bond. Also, it's not a matter of the shape of the area. It's the assessed value at the base year, okay? Again, it's a math equation. You're working with the wrong consultants and you're getting bad advice, all right? That's what's going on here, and it keeps repeating itself. I agree with you. Don't repeat the problems of the past. Redevelopment is over here.
Any private placement bonds or limited obligation bonds are also a tool that we're looking at.
Limited obligation bonds are different from private activity.
I know they are.
No, but I know specifically how they're different, okay?
Lenny, is this a job interview or an interview?
I have a job. I own 68% of my stock here, okay? You should be on the board. You'd be great. You kick my ass that way too. So, right?
Well, listen, I think we're probably putting your viewers to sleep.
No, they love it.
About all this.
They love this stuff. Now, viewers never go to sleep. They're zinsters. They know this stuff.
All right, but I think they care more about, like, when are they going to see it? Where do they need to show up and advocate? And, like, what is to be expected next? So, breaking news here. No one else knows this, Zenny, I don't think. I've not seen it publicly. So here you go. We have been told that the Alameda County Board of Supervisors has in writing stated their intent, the president who does the scheduling, to actually hear this matter at their October 26th board meeting. So that is going to be a big date for us and for A's fans, because whatever your advice is aside, Zenny, I believe that the only responsible way to do this deal in a way that protects the city's general funds and ensures that the project pays for the project and that the public dollar goes into public benefits like affordable housing and public parks and the public infrastructure. This ballpark must and will be totally privately financed, the ballpark itself. But all those benefits that we're going to realize, that is key to this project being a responsible project and a good deal forever for the people of Oakland. And so hot off the press, exclusive to you, Zenny. Our understanding, we have been told that President Carson has issued a letter stating his intention to schedule it October 26th to the board.
October 26th. I'm writing that down, 26th. But thank you very much. And also, Rick Gray wants to know what you think of the ticket price hike.
That was pretty scary. I'm not sure what to think of it. I hope they're preparing people. I think we should expect to pay higher prices for like an incredible Howard Terminal experience. I'm hoping they're trying to get us ready for that. I do hope, though, that the A's continue. I know this is for season ticket holders. Baseball has always been accessible. It's been a family event. When I go to the Coliseum, I don't get any of that fancy stuff. I get a Coliseum dog and a Bud Light. Like that's baseball, right? It's like every person's enjoyment. And so I do hope the A's continue to make their team, their experience accessible for the full diversity of Oaklanders and people throughout the region. Let's be clear, A's fans do not just live in Oakland. It's been great to see, like the other mayors in Alameda County have all been super supportive, very interested in this project. This is much bigger than Oakland. It's much bigger than baseball. It is a new, regional attraction to really liberate this part of the waterfront. I mean, Oakland's waterfront is spectacular. And Howard Terminal is in the part of the channel that is the most shallow. It literally cannot accommodate the new generation of these mega ships. Now, we've limited a part of the development so that we potentially could build a much larger turning basin for these new mega ships that are coming into the other terminals that are active and operating at the Port of Oakland. So you are going to still utilize Howard Terminal land for port operations. They haven't used it for actual container shipping movement since I think 2013.
Oh, this is breaking news. So you're going to use the maritime option? You're going to make Mike Welch and his folks happy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mike Jacob, I'm sorry. There's the
Mike Jacobs.
Yeah,
Mike Jacobs has absolutely been pushing for that turnaround. Although I don't want to misrepresent Mike Jacobs. PMSA has not supported this project at all. They've been pretty clear about what their concerns are. Although I know that was one of their concerns. That is a concern that is being addressed by this project. And another one that I think you're going to see is how we can also ensure that the trains and the trucks that serve the Port of Oakland are going to have a lot more safer interactions or separations from what is already getting to be an unsafe situation at Jack London. I mean, Jack London has become a much more enjoyed entertainment district. I mean, Zenny, you remember when there was nothing down there but the warehouse bar, right?
Yeah.
And now, there are condos, there are brew clubs, there are CrossFit gyms. I mean, it's a whole mixed use neighborhood. We have to do safer separations of all that mixed use activity from the critical goods movement that happens at that port every day.
I got to ask you about Coliseum, because there's words that you don't want the African American Sports Entertainment Group to have that project site. What's your issue with Ray Bobbitt, or am I wrong?
You are wrong.
Thank you.
I like Ray Bobbitt, and I am rooting for the local team. The thing that I have an issue with is timing. I believe, so because the A's own an undivided half interest in the Coliseum, no matter who the team is, no matter how much the city of Oakland loves them, nothing will get done on that land without the A's approval. And I don't think the A's are in the mood to even think about what's happening on the Coliseum land until the Howard Terminal situation is more resolved. So my big issue is that this has all been a bit premature. I'm glad that people are working on it. I want to be ready to just beautify that area and make it more, community serving. I think East Oakland has kind of gotten the short end of the stick for a long time in so many ways, including how that land has been used. I mean, most of it, Zenny, is a giant surface parking lot that is no longer hosting, those epic Raiders tailgates. We want jobs there. We want parks there. We want things for East Oaklanders to enjoy there. We need affordable housing everywhere. We could get a lot more jobs for East Oaklanders at that Coliseum site. And Ray Bobbitt and his team have a great vision. I just think it's premature to be calling the question, because I don't think the A's are prepared to say, what they're doing, what they're willing to approve, what their criteria is for a partner. And, right now, I also just want to be clear, the city council's direction to me as the administration, and they vote, I don't, is that they actually want us to negotiate with two teams. In addition to Ray Bobbitt's team, also the Dave Stewart team. And so, staff has been doing that. And I kind of wish the council would let us do what they asked us to do. I know that staff actually was prepared to bring back some initial recommendations in November. I think that got pushed up a little bit by Councilmember Kaplan's recent rules request. Mm-hmm. But I'm excited about the Oakland team. Although, Dave Stewart's kind of the Oakland team too. But
bring them together, because Dave and Lonnie have been taking shots at Rebecca on social media. And as I do in politics, that doesn't fly. Okay. So
listen, I have not been following that. I just want the best deal for Oakland. And I absolutely believe we've got two teams that are qualified. You always kind of have to root for a little bit of the hometown team. And just for me, though, it's just premature. I'd like Howard Terminal to be a little bit further along, a little bit more resolved before we turn our attention to the Coliseum. That's all.
Commissioner of Baseball, because MLB is fooling around in Las Vegas. They're driving what Dave Cavall does. What say you about going them straight to the lion's mouth and saying, hey, you know what? Knock this stuff off.
Well, I certainly check in with MLB on a somewhat regular basis. I want to give MLB credit, because I actually think that they are rooting for Oakland. They want to keep the team in its hometown. Now they're also getting a lot of grief from the other teams that are like, this is not a major league facility. The current state of the Coliseum is getting to be very subpar. Like, we have to admit that, right?
To be. Sorry.
So I think we share their frustration. And remember, MLB is a national organization. They've seen facilities go up very quickly in places like Texas and Florida. California, we're a little different. And especially when you are developing on California's precious coastline, you've got to expect that there are a lot of regulatory hoops to jump through, especially with the threat of climate change and our commitment to environmental stewardship. And so that is the work we're doing. And I have to tell you, John Fisher and the A's have a commitment to environmental stewardship. That was part of the legislation that they brought to fast track any CEQA appeals. That was conditioned on environmental stewardship in this project, zero net emissions. And so, a lot of public benefit that is, on the line with this project.
Hey, I want to ask you real quick about legislation that just passed, AB 464, for enhanced industrial financing zones for small business that would get billions. That's what they say for San Francisco and Oakland to help. Why haven't we done anything?
Oh, Zenny, I apologize. I didn't get a heads up that you'd be asking me about that. I'll have to come back another time when I've done my homework better to tell you, the analysis of how that legislation could impact Oakland. So I'm sorry I don't have that on the tip of my tongue. But listen, before we go, and we're over time, as we always are. Look,
I'm milking this. I can't.
Look at the city. Like, it was a 23-minute film, and only 10 seconds was about Howard Terminal. Like, what were your impressions? How did you feel as an Oaklander? What did you think?
I'm proud of it, but also I'm here. I got my place on Adams Point. My mom turned 87 on Friday. I'm here for her, and all the reports I get back are these right-wing people putting out these negative images. We got to visit Oakland to fight this, and we have to have a whole new effort. And we got to come together, Libby. It can't be like, Lauren's out there, he's going to run for, he ain't ready to run for mayor. Carol doesn't really know how to do. She's my district, okay? She needs to step it up as council member. I'm just saying it like it is, okay? I'm tired of this stuff. All these egos out here, people are not coming together, and they're picking fights all the time. You've done a great job with the Oakland Promise, and Gene Hazard needs to stop picking on you, okay? Because you're Black, you ought to be behind what she's doing.
The last thing I said before we showed the film was, because the name of the film is Oakland Fights, Oakland Cares, Oakland Dreams.
Oh, yes,
and I said,
that was you.
Oaklanders know, though, that we get the most done when we come and fight together for our values, and not against one another.
Thank you. We
Those
love
were my closing remarks at the State of the City. They will be my closing remarks with our interview today. Zenny, my brother, it is always great to see you. I love you.
I love you too.
I just respect the heck out of you, and just it's fun to catch up today.
Keep quiet. Remember, when I criticize, because I love you, and
I know.
And let me kick your people's butt for you. All right, you ain't getting the right advice. You're not. Okay, I'm the expert. They're not. That's got it. Okay.
All right. Take care. Give your mom my birthday wishes and my love. And I look forward to seeing you soon.
Definitely. I'll see you.
All right. Bye.
So that's Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, folks. Never quite did an interview like that before. I think mainly because we know each other a lot. But also as a person who, it was the 9th of May, it was the 14th of May of 2009 at 6:30 in the evening when I was at her parents' house and my mom came over. We were all going to have dinner, and I told Libby she should run for mayor. And she went and ran for city council. So it just, we're all very close, okay? This is Oakland. This is not, he didn't handle it professionally. No, I have my own way of doing media. And I think it's more honest, it's more social media based, and I like it. Somebody else doesn't, I don't care. At this stage, I really don't care. It's really worked well. So what did we learn? We learned that as far as I'm concerned with Howard Terminal, there's still a long way to go. And the big issue that's on the table, first of all, I want you to remember this date, okay? This is the next big date. This is the County of Alameda. The news was broke here, all right? The County of Alameda date for Howard Terminal is the 26th, all right? Today is, guess what? The 5th, so tomorrow, that'll be 20 days from now. So 20 days from now, come tomorrow, we will have the County of Alameda's meeting on Howard Terminal. Now, frankly speaking, if I were mayor, I'd have figured out a way to go around them because clock's ticking, all right? And to not have sources and uses, done by now when California Governor Gavin Newsom, and another longtime friend of mine since 1998, signed SB 293 Skinner into law, which created the enhanced, their version of the enhanced industrial financing district, all right? Ever since that was signed into law on the 11th of October of 2019, the city has basically done bupkis with it, nothing. If you tell somebody you're going to take their section, this is the land, let's say this is Howard Terminal, okay? And I'm saying, oh, hey, by the way, I'm going to use tax increment financing, which means I'm going to take the property tax that you normally get, all right? You have to say to them early on, hey, do you favor that? Hey, can we talk about this? The city didn't do that. The city didn't do that. They hired a new project manager, Molly Mabern. Heck, yeah, a new city administrator, Ed Reskin, so I've known for a long time. Not buddy like Libby and I, you know? Yeah, she is my buddy. Okay, so what? That's life. But my point is, for those of us who live, breathe, eat, sleep, and drink Oakland, this is not the best time for the city. We've never looked so inept. All right? That's the problem. I hate to say that when my god sister is the mayor. But I gotta call balls and strikes. Okay? I gotta call balls and strikes as much as it hurts me to do so. And it does. I don't like that. But I would be doing a disservice to people who are watching and who've been in support of the growth of this. Let me take some of your comments here. I heard Oakland is getting a hockey team. Is that true? Should we build something Oakland roots? I certainly think that any effort that we are making to get a hockey team should be supported. And that's why we need a sports commission. You're looking at the guy that started the only sports commission in the history of Oakland, the Oakland Alameda County Sports Commission. All right, me. And the city did nothing to retain it or to keep it going. I started it to form the Oakland Super Bowl 39 bidding committee. We came to within 8 NFL owner votes of bringing the 2005 Super Bowl here instead of Jacksonville. Frankly speaking, it would have been a Buffalo event here. You saw how it was for Super Bowl 50, right? I was there. But we lost to Jacksonville. They stuffed everybody on, or almost everybody on cruise ships because Jacksonville didn't have enough hotels at the time. And I don't believe Jacksonville has any much of a greater stock of hotels now than it did then, you know? So Tuxedo Moon says, go Oakland. Talking about the baseball thing, okay? Aren't we getting Uber at 20th Street? Well, that's kind of, Uber is gone. We have Square. That's Jack Dorsey's company at 20th Street. What happened to Uber taking over the building? That's Tuxedo. That's old. That's moons ago. I remember when Libby was running for re-election in 2018, and she had a fundraiser, and we were talking about Uber then, and she had talked about the transaction that was done, which resulted in the Sears building becoming the Uber building for a time, right? And they ended up selling it. That was one of the richest transactions done at the time in real estate in the world. Okay, believe it or not, in the world, Oakland. And that's how much things have changed. Now, if you want to say, gee, no wonder we have homeless problems and gentrification, well, there you go. You'll be absolutely right, okay? He says, once again, do they hear you? Hey, they hear me. I think the other thing, too, is Libby says, well, is this a job interview? You know how I feel about that? If you know somebody, it should always be, you know what? I got a guy. Me. It's not a matter of interviewing me for a job so that somebody who knows far less than I do can basically do this. Hell with that. I know the answer. And so the original reason I created a media platform was because I figured, and I'm going to say this just like it lay, all right, the mainstream media was basically not going to tell the story about how I worked to bring the Super Bowl to Oakland. I had to do it myself. There was one person, Laura Counts, who was with the Tribune at the time. This was 2000 going 2001, who actually told the truth about what I had done. Francis Dinkelspiel, who's with Berkeley side, and what they got out of it was a Pulitzer Prize. Why? Because I gave them the information about the bond issue and all of its problems, the one that basically we're still paying for. All right. So Frances started Berkeley side, she started Oakland side, but did she ever say thank you for her Pulitzer? Nope. Hi, Frances. Hi. It's true. Okay. So, it's not a matter of do they hear me. Dave, I really don't care. I'm just liberated, okay? Because there are a lot of people who put, like Sanjeev Honda, I think of, who passed away, who really put their heart in Oakland. But in Oakland, there are people who think you have to run for office to make a difference. You don't. You don't, all right? The trouble is you have some people on the city council currently and in the past, all right, who, straight up think that you should be about them. That's what Lauren told me. He's like, well, you have to talk about my agenda. Well, I'm not your PR person. I don't have to talk about your agenda. You have to sell to me why you think you can be mayor or council member or anything else. It's not for me to be your PR dude. Okay, if you want to hire Zenny 62 Media to do, reputation management for you and everything, we broadcast it. Hey, that's great. We're going to tell people. All right. Just as, hey, we're going to do basically what Hearst Corporation doesn't do. They have Hearst Media Services, right? They do reputation management. You go to hearstmediaservices.com. What is on there but the San Francisco Chronicle, the Houston Chronicle, the Seattle Post-Intelligencer, and all the other publications, news publications, they use reputation management. And you got those people talking about me? They're not doing it straight away. Bay Area News Group? Hey, you know what? You want to see something about Bay Area News Group? Let me show you something real quick here, right now, folks, regarding Bay Area News Group, okay? I'm going to show you something. Bay Area News Group, all right? When I click, this is what happens when I search for Bay Area News Group on Google. This is what I get. This is what I get, folks. Watch this. I get this. Okay. This is Bay. Okay, this is what I get. Check that out. All right. What does it say? Bay Area News Group, Bay Area Digital Marketing Company. And you would say, well, maybe it's not the same company, right? Well, all you got to do is click on it. Okay. Cleaner. What is it? What is that? That's Oakland. Cleaner, brighter, bolder. Welcome to the Bay Area News Group website. Okay. what's the first they tell you about? Their digital marketing. This is, all right, digital first group. They do reputation management too. Be like Clay, read the news. But it's marketing. All right, they're advertising themselves as a marketing company. Do you hear me? So enough with this bullshit. All right, enough with it. Why are they doing it? Because everybody knows you can't make money just relying on ads and content. That's why you have to offer other services, and that's what they're doing. And further than that, okay? It's a different ball game right now. Appropriate term. Content, you haven't figured out how to monetize your content, forget it. Maybe, all right? Forget it. That's it. And then the bozo-ish thing about this is that you have all these folks in the Bay Area who are with great people, KTVU, KPIX, they have an idea that the K's should work together or the legacy news. And here I am having the leading, not just the leading blog in Oakland, but the leading blog in the freaking Bay Area by traffic, all right? Help pumping their content out via the YouTube videos they put up and everything else. You think they would come up and say, hey, Zinni, let's partner? No, they don't. Am I waiting for them? Nope. Am I beating them? Yep. I'm beating them as I'm helping them. That's pretty cool, all right? A lot of these people don't even know how to code at all. So all you folks out there, I'm a journalist. Stop it. Be a collaborator. You want help? Bring it to me. You want something that's to promote it out there? I'm not talking about pay or anything. No. Hey, Zinni, I got this idea. I want to come on your show and talk about this, and now I'm with this publication or that publication. Come on and talk. We all need to pull together. That's what it's all about. There's too much of this, and it's not benefiting you. Me, I'm too pissed off to not figure out how to make this work. Period. Okay? So, Jermaine Ellis is beating you at what? Jermaine Ellis isn't beating me. Hey, Jermaine Ellis is one of the people whose videos I like and put up there. So he ain't beating me because Jermaine Ellis, does Jermaine Ellis have 100 blogs? No. He has one YouTube channel, all right? Period, all right? Okay? All right? So there. That's it. A lot of these people don't even know who Jermaine Ellis is. So anyway, getting back to the matter at hand, that's Howard Terminal. I want you to remember this date. This is Alameda County, October 26th, 2021. Okay? It's been agendized. Howard Terminal, Board of Supervisors, the Alameda County Board of Supervisors. And something else I'm doing here, I am inviting, maybe Dave is around, I don't know, but anybody who wants to comment on video, not audio, here's the link. Here's the link right here. Okay? Here's the link. Copy it. Remember, camera, no audio. If you come in with audio, you do not get in. It's about seeing your face, okay? Mike Lowry says, Zinni, I was having a few drinks at the bar. Wait a minute. Mike is special. So let me see if I can get Mike on the phone here. Hopefully he's not too, schnookered. Hopefully he's not schnookered at all. On the other hand, candidly, that would be rather entertaining, wouldn't it? Hold on a second. Let's see, Mike Lowry, there he is. So, let's see if I can get a hold of him. Calling. Trying.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
It's trying to call you, Mike.
510303.
Mike is a fan and contributor, having a few drinks at the bar. I don't know what that means. All right. So David Compton says, Zinni, I was a long-term resident of our beloved Oakland. I hear you when he says the city would greatly benefit from his thanks. But it just so happens that the city would, there are a number of people who would benefit. I think I got Rick Gray's question out. Let's review it. He says, one quick thought. The A's painting Oakland Bears poor, not being able to support a new park costs a raise. That could be. That wasn't the other part of it. He had said, let's see here. We asked about this. Could you ask the mayor, which I did, if she thinks the A's are trying to sabotage the fan base and leave early by doubling the ticket prices? She admitted she was surprised by that, and as we all were. And you know about the Howard Terminal part. You know that the 26th of October is for the county. And again, I state the county can be gotten around. I know they want to do it the hard way, but I think you should always have an alternative in case there's a roadblock. That's just how I roll. You should not let one group stop you, okay? At all. Wait a minute. It's Mike Lowry. Mike Lowry, my man, how you doing?
How you doing?
We got Mike Lowry and we got David Compton at the same time. We got that was fast. We went from nobody, me, to everybody. I'm the nobody. You guys are the somebodies.
See, I was I got a too, and it's a Samsung, and it's real sensitive. So I was in the middle of my sentence, and it hit enter, and so that's what happened. I was like, no, I didn't want to send that right now. So, but it was the other day. I was watching the games, and some guys from that worked on they're part of the union, the dock workers, and they were kind of bragging about blocking the A's from coming to Howard Terminal, or what they perceive as them blocking the A's. They're not coming down here, and they were telling me all kind of ways that it's not going to work out. And, I don't know if they were just talking out of their keisters or if there's actual stuff, that they were saying. So, but that's what they told me, that they were saying it wouldn't work out because of the time that they worked the docks and the time that the ball game would be going on.
Did you ask them, would they try to bring those points up and try to, it's planning. Did they try to offer a mitigation strategy rather than just saying, oh, it won't work?
No, of course not. They just,
Wow.
They just figure, I guess, what's good for them is what's good for them. They didn't come up with any strategy. They were just against it. It was only about two of them, but local, whatever, you know the numbers. I don't know the numbers of the union, but he was saying, basically, and I was telling them they were trying to go into Lane first, and that got shot down. But they didn't get any ways they think they can get around it.
Hey, Dave, you guys met each other? Mike Lowry, this is Dave Compton. Dave Compton, Mike Lowry.
How you doing? Can you hear me?
I don't know Dave Compton, though.
Hey, Mr. Compton, what did you think of the mayor's interview? Thanks for commenting.
What did I think of our interview?
Yeah, or our discussion, or
her. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, there was a lot more that I wanted to say regarding that. I've been hearing your show for quite some time now. And you once said about in terms of the arrogant thing, and I said, no, you're not arrogant. You know your business, and I was dead serious about that right there. When you had said what you said to her, and she kind of got irritated with you. Okay. It was just not one.
I love her though.
Say again.
I love her. She is my friend. I feel
and that's cool. But like you said, sometimes you got to be straight out about things. But if that's the case, your advice, like you said, should be heard, and they should take it serious. Okay. You made points before. You showed them. It came true, and it's like you being put on the back burner, or you pardon me for saying, but sometimes I wonder, does the skin color have something to do with it?
Well, but I'm going to say something. I don't, God forbid for me saying this, but I really don't care. And here's the reason I don't. For example, cryptocurrency, okay? I made good money just from cashing cryptocurrency today and yesterday. And my point is that what I love about what I'm doing is the ability to gain value in many different kinds of ways online and through this company, and I'm really happy about that. I'm taking advice I give and I'm monetizing it. Okay, so it's not a loss for me; it's a loss for Oakland to not do it, and that's just how I feel. I don't feel like, look. Honestly, does it sadden me that, yeah, I'm not calling? Of course it does, because I care and I want to see the city do better. And I feel that after I don't know how many decades, and it was my first job out of grad school in 1986 going to 87. All right. Of course, I'd be lying to you if I said I had no feeling about that. Of course I have some feeling about that. But also, get this, I'll be 60 next year. My buddy of mine died in 2018, Lars. So, I have to go with what I have and build on it and move. And that's what I've done, Libby will always be my friend. Her folks will always be my grandparents. I love them to death. That will never change. But the simple fact of the matter is I have a platform to say, you know what? You guys are screwing up. And I'm not just anybody. I have the tenure to prove it. So if people want to make fun of me or say whatever, great. Just keep talking. Fine. But the bottom line is that Oakland needs help. You know it, and I know it. Mike Lowry knows it, and we all love the city. Okay, and I know that you're in the Palm Desert down there. Mike's an Oaklander. He hangs out in Vegas more than I do. Lucky so and so.
Yeah.
But this guy goes to all the major fights, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And Zenny, especially right now, Zenny, because I don't know if you've I know you're taking care of your mother in Georgia, but a lot of those businesses, especially for the entertainment perspective, they're moving over to Oakland. Lost and Found, they moved over to Oakland. The Elbow from San Francisco, the Elbow Room moved over to Oakland. We have the Imperial Arcade. The same owners in San Francisco own the ones in the Fox Theater. This Oakland Athletic Club is owned by the same people that own the Athletic Club in San Francisco. Rangers is coming. All the entertainment is coming over to Oakland because of the San Francisco's lack of diversity and lack of welcoming everybody, So I mean, this is the time to strike right now because we're getting these businesses in downtown, in the heart of downtown, in the city that's black. You go down Broadway, you've seen this. There's pictures of people just in the community, just muraled on the wall, and yeah, man, it's the time to strike is now, man, because all the businesses from San Francisco are coming over to this side because this is where people have fun at.
But
San Francisco, they're caught up in their own. Whatever the tech thing, and a lot of those techies are moving out and leaving and going to other places like Austin, like Phoenix, places, that because San Francisco's removed all the fun.
Yep, that's absolutely right. And hey, something else, folks who are just joining us, I cannot help, but I gotta remind you, everybody, remind you and everybody, said you and everybody, folks watching, Howard Terminal. On the clock, Alameda County Board of Supervisors, October 26th, 2021, right there. Mark it, okay? And I'll get more details later, but that date was announced here first, all right? Here first, not someplace else, here first, all right? So do you all think that the A's will be in Oakland 4 years from now?
Stevie, personally, I'm going to say this. I hope so, because why would you want to be in a place where you're fighting for the same dollar like Las Vegas? That's the thing with the Ravens. I feel like everything that you've been saying that came true, Zinni, about it's the hotel revenue not being enough. I think they just do that to a win. They don't care if you book Raider games. They were just looking for an influx of people to come into Las Vegas. Hey man, Floyd Mayweather's retired now. They don't have that event no more. Floyd was like a holiday. So that's two events you're losing a year. And like you said from Sheldon Edelson.
Well, hey, Mike, you're telling me that Logan Paul can't make up the difference?
It's not a guarantee Logan Paul's going to fight twice in Vegas. It's a guarantee with Floyd.
Wow.
Logan Paul might go to Ohio. Logan Paul might go. Floyd was so, in with the guys, the casino guys. That's why he always, and you know this, Zini, Vegas is a very loyal city. It's very old school in that you can have the newest and brightest, but a businessman that's old school, he'll go with his buddy that he's been doing business with for 15 years, even if his venue was smaller.
Yep, that's right.
Dana White did that with the UFC fights. They were asking Dana, "Why are you fighting at the Palms? Why are you fighting at the Palms? You can go the season, you can go to here." He said, "I rock with the Maloof brothers, so we're doing it here."
Yeah,
so
and that's what I like about Vegas, man. Vegas is big on loyalty, and
it's big on loyalty. And like I said, the A's they can go if they want to, but you're just going to be another event trying to fight for the same dollars because everybody does the same thing in Las Vegas. Everybody does the same thing, whereas in Oakland, you're the only show.
But here I got to ask you though, what if consider this: that dollar that the A's are fighting to get may want to see the A's versus the New York Yankees, considering the number of New Yorkers in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, that's one game though.
Okay, how about the Giants?
I don't see Giants fans or Oakland fans going traveling doing that.
No, but do you know how many Giants fans are in Las Vegas already? I mean, my God, when the Giants are on TV in Las Vegas, hey, people come up and they watch.
It could work, Zini. I just think there's too much going on and everybody does the same thing, and it's going to be really hard to convince people. I guess it would depend on the dollar amount you're asking for. I guess the price point would matter, but everybody does the same thing out there. MGM owns streets, and their pool parties are battling against pool parties that they own. Everybody's scrapping for the same dollar, the same entertainment.
Hey, Dave Compton, what do you think?
Well, first of all, you asked if 4 years from now would the A's be there in Oakland. And so what I was thinking was that because of what I don't know about Howard Terminal, have they started working on that already? Have they started building that already, or
how started building Howard Terminal?
The baseball field and everything. Have they got started on that already? They haven't. No. Howard
Terminal is still in the pre-development phase.
Okay. Well, then that's my lack of knowledge in terms of that right there.
No, but it's a good question. Let me explain for those who might have had that question, but maybe didn't know how to ask. There are different phases of development. There's there's pre-development is where you have your architect financing. What are called entitlements are basically your right to build on the land, okay? And in order to get that from the city, which the A's don't have yet, you have to meet a number of requirements that they ask for from, your ability to pay for the ballpark, which is not a question, to also the design, how it's going to look, where it's laid out, the land, all of that, as you know, in the environmental impact report, all that, as you know, is in progress or has been completed in the case of the EIR and is being reviewed. And then there's design guidelines, which is still a process that's occurring as well. So this is the pre-development phase. When we get into the development phase is if and when the city council approves what's called the due diligence and development agreement. Now, what is that? It is a long multi-page series of documents that lays out the expectations for the athletics and the city as partners in building the ballpark. Everything from not just the infrastructure, but what the infrastructure improvements will consist of, to the ballpark itself, to such things as signage, light standards, all of that and more is then laid out in the due diligence and development agreement, which we hope will be brought up to council by the 20th of September and approved. But right now, my prediction is the way things are going, it might be moved back. Because why? Because of the county, because the city wants to have the county on board, which I think is a recipe for disaster myself. So does that answer your question, Dave?
Yeah, so it sounds like in one sense, your last part, the recipe for disaster, that they're playing with it too much. And 4 years from now, who's to say what's what? Will they have that stadium done? or if not, or they still be jerking around with it or something of the sort. I think what it is that be it that the A's and maybe the city in terms of the people are tired of everybody yanking their chain, or shall I say the city yanking a chain on these things. Look, you lost the Warriors, you lost the Raiders, whoever else you lost. You even lost Marshawn Lynch's team, the Panthers.
Yep.
Okay, and so in this case here, there's a lot that just seems to be going downhill with that right there, and it seems to be that the only thing that's left right now are the A's, and if that's the case, that would go as far as to bring some light to that city with that terminal, not terminal, I'm sorry, with the baseball field and everything, and what's surrounding it, and so forth, and that's good in terms of for bringing in revenue and so forth. Okay, but that's what I wonder for 4 years from now. What's going to happen? It's kind of hard to say.
Yep, sure is. Hey, I'm going to leave that.
Zini,
yeah, go
I
ahead,
wanted
Mike.
to make this point too.
Yeah.
Zini, the shadiest part, and I will say shady, it's me saying it, not Zini, is the fact that the A's bought the Coliseum property from the county, correct, Zini? But you want to put the ballpark somewhere else.
Well, yeah, but what
Just
happened?
build at the Coliseum since you got Jack London is only 2 exits away.
But
Like,
I'll
they
tell you
have
what.
this-
I'm
They have
sorry.
this theory, Zini, that I've been down to Chase Bank. Nobody kicks it down there after the games. Nobody walks to restaurants and stuff after the game. People get the hell up out of the dog patch of San Francisco. Nobody hangs. They thought that's what was going to happen with the Warriors. Nobody hangs down there, Zini. I've seen it. Since they've been over there. Nobody hangs out in the dog patch after Warriors games.
I think the problem is that is basically that the city has, and I just forgot my train of thought. She made me think of 3 different things at once. So,
Yeah.
but
So,
go
but
ahead,
they're not building on the Coliseum site.
right. But my point is that building up the Coliseum site is something that the Athletics, this is what I was going to say, never intended to do.
So why own the land? I mean, we know why, but
Well, no, if you know why, say it. Or as Bob would say, say it.
Because they want to be on it whenever that gets developed. They want to be in on it. They want to be in on, whenever they put condos or they have Amazon take it or whatever happens, they want to be in on the money.
Okay, I'll tell you why. And Oakland Councilmember Dan Kalb actually said it at the end of the Raiders block party that we had at the Coliseum. Remember that send-off that we had for the city? And it was this, well, it wasn't really a send-off so much as a, hey, let's all rally together and show the NFL our support. You had the city, you had Libby there, Ray Bobbitt, Jim Wonderman, the architects for what was supposed to be the new football stadium and all that. That was 2 days before the NFL vote that sent the Raiders to Las Vegas. Remember all that? Great turnout.
Yeah.
At that event, Dan Kalb said to me on video, you can see on Zinni62 on YouTube, he said, the NFL better hurry up and make its decision because sports isn't going to be on that property. Talking about the Coliseum. If they leave, he said there are to be other people who want it. All right.
Yep.
So guess what happened? Fast forward, right? The A's were given the opportunity to have that golden goose. All right.
Yeah.
And to do what with it? To land bank it. They're just going to flip the thing.
Yep. Exactly.
They had no intention. And you would say, Zinni, why would I so cavalierly say that? Simple. Because they did not advance a true development plan and financing. They screamed out, even on their website, hey, we're banking this to anybody who understood what to look for.
Yeah.
It was an obvious placeholder. It was ridiculous. All right. The mayor, Libby, had given the Athletics super power. Basically, by exclusive negotiating agreement, which means we all talk and nobody else. Oh, by the way, hey, you can have either the Coliseum or Howard Terminal. But what did Dave Cavall and John Fisher and the Athletics geniusly do? We'll take both.
Yep.
So who could blame them? Because the contract that so the ENA didn't call for them to not do that. It was never considered that the Athletics would do that. And so that is how we wound up where we are today.
Yep, exactly.
Hey folks, I gotta bail out.
I'll push back a little bit on something Mr. Compton said. To me, I don't, and Zee, me and you have had this conversation before. I don't view Libby as losing the teams. I view two owners wanted to leave and made excuses. It's like your friend Stephen Ross said on Zenny 62. If you can't make a deal if the owner does not want to make a deal. He said that straight up, kind of throwing Mark under the bus, but he said it kind of in a PC way. He said Mark Davis did not want to make a deal with the city of Oakland. It came out of Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins' mouth. And we know Joe Lacob. I'm not gonna get it. Me and Zeke have talked about Joe Lacob. I'm not gonna get into it on his channel.
Thank you.
He didn't want to be here. Let's just say that he didn't want to be here. Mark didn't want to be here.
Hey, I'm going to use that as the last word, gentlemen, because I got to go and do some other things and have dinner with my mom. Hey, guys, this has been great. It's been real. It's been an hour and 1 minute of fun. Thank you, Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, 50th Mayor of Oakland. 50th Mayor of Oakland needs our help. Let's give it to our help and love Oakland. And I will say, love life. Love life and honor Don Lacey. Mr. Compton, yes.
Tell your mother I said hello.
I will do that.
Hope you're doing well.
Hello, Susie.
Oh, definitely. All right, guys, stick around the backfield. Stick around in the background, the backfield. I got football on my mind. Hey, by the way, save Jameis Winston. Make Sean Payton play Jameis Winston 30 passes, not 23. Stop babying him around. All right, thank you, Tuxedo Moon. All right, folks, that ends this broadcast. Guys, stick around.